target audience is a particular group in which a product is aimed at, such as a film. There are specific things within the product that are altered in order to suit the people that you are trying to target your product at. Therefore, it is important to consider your target audience when gaining audience feedback, given that your target audience are the people that are going to consume your media product, and therefore, from getting direct feedback from your target audience, you will be able to improve the quality of your media product so that it targets your target audience. My target audience was predominantly boys and girls aged around 15 to 24. I found out what would be a suitable target audience by conducting questionnaires about people who consume thriller products currently. I felt that audience feedback is an important factor in both short films, film reviews, and film posters. This is because testing your initial ideas out on an audience, and especially on your target audience, gives the producer an idea of how well their product is going. The audience feedback is very important as it can help you improve your final piece. One technique which I used in order to gain feedback was producing lots of different versions of my product. I then went to ask people which version they liked, meaning I could gain audience feedback on which version of my product was more effective. From this I was able to learn which product to put as my final product. This helped me to ensure that the final product I chose was really effective and was the most effective out of the different products I had made. I also learned a lot of other things from my audience research, which I will discuss later on within this evaluation question. Within the research stages of my production, I tried to find out what my target audience liked. I did this via questionnaires. Even from this very early stage of audience research, I was able to find out information from my target audience that would help inform and teach me how to make sure my product was conventional and appealed to my target audience. I learnt that my target audience liked interesting characters and intense narratives. Therefore, within my trailer, I tried to include this by having a complex central protagonist who is suffering with a mental health illness and therefore finds it hard to distinguish between reality and illusion. I also tried to have an intense narrative by having lots of action shots as well to ensure that I was conforming to the conventions of the genre whilst also fulfilling what my target audience wanted. Therefore, even in this early audience feedback questionnaires that I conducted, I learned what to include within my film to ensure that I was going to fulfill what my target audience wanted and therefore ensure that my product was a success. I also asked my target demographic what they wanted to know after having watched the trailer. I found out from the results that they wanted to know a basic storyline of the film. Therefore, I included iconic images that were related to the narrative and genre of my film in order to encode information for my audience about the narrative. This would allow the audience to decode the narrative of the film, making sure that having watched the trailer they understood slight bits of the narrative. This therefore shows how I was able to take on board this early and initial feedback in order to learn what content was vital to include within my film in order to fulfill audiences' expectations. Another question that I asked my target demographic was if they preferred to see a male or female protagonist. From the results that I got, I could infer that a female protagonist was preferred. This therefore meant I was able to learn about what type of character would be best to use as my protagonist. This therefore led to me using a female protagonist, showing how I was able to learn what I had gathered from this initial audience research and feedback in order to ensure that my narrative was conventional to the thriller genre and also conformed to what audiences expected. This therefore meant that I was able to construct my trailer in a manner where I had learnt from the feedback from the target demographic in order to ensure that I could make my trailer appeal to my target demographic.